Good evening, welcome all of you all for our Saturday evening Bhagavatam class. So we are in the midst of the second canto, 5th chapter, and we are completed up to verse number 31. So just starting from verse number 32. So request someone to read from verse number 32.
O Narada, best of the transcendentalists, the forms of the body cannot take place as long as these created parts, namely the elements, senses, mind and modes of nature, are not assembled.
So basically one thing important, this word assembled is very important. हम लोग सब वेरियस पार्ट्स असेंबल टुगेदर. पहले एक सोल को लिया, जैसा जस्ट टू गेट वेरी क्लियर अंडरस्टैंडिंग, मालूम है वो पिप पिप वाला चप्पल आता है और लाइट वाला चप्पल आता है, बच्चों का आता है ना लाइट वाला. When someone will wonder how they dug and put the light inside. It's like you put the light inside and over that you put the, I'm giving a very offhand or a crude example. Don't, take it literally. But what I'm trying to say is the soul is taken and on the soul these things are assembled. The 5 elements are given by which this body is created. Once the body is created, then mind, intelligence, ego is put inside that. Then the 24 elements start working, the 23 elements start working. There's the working senses, mind and all that. The tanmatras, everything started working. So basically we are an assembly. Like a car is assembled, we are also assembled. And at the time of death, what goes is only the soul. Rest everything disassembles. पानी वापस पानी के तत्व में चला जाएगा, धरती धरती तत्व में चला जाएगा, शरीर जल जाएगा, भस्म होगा या दफनाया जाएगा. So what happens? Everything goes back to its original situation. It goes back to your original situation. Yes.
Thus, when all these became assembled by force of the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, this universe certainly came into being by accepting both the primary and secondary causes of creation. Thus, all the universes.
What is the primary and secondary cause of creation? Primary cause and secondary cause. Primary cause is Vishnu. Secondary cause is Brahma. Because Brahma then further continues the creation process. Brahma did not bring water, earth, fire, ether. ये सब जमा करके भगवान ने दिया. So first this thing was done by God. And then secondary creation, अभी तो बाकी का है. It's like एक आर्किटेक्ट को मट्टी, ईटा, सलिया सब लाके दे दिया, मालिक ने लाके दे दिया और फिर वो बांधना चालू करता है. He uses the same मट्टी, ईटा, सलिया and builds a building or house, whatever you call it. Same way, everywhere there is a primary cause, there is a secondary cause. Please continue.
Thus, all the universes remained thousands of aeons within the water, the casual ocean, and the Lord of living beings entered in each of them, caused them to be fully animated.
So all were lying inert. Inert मतलब no life, lifeless, dead पड़े हैं. And उसके अंदर भगवान he enters, pervades. विष्णु का अर्थ क्या है? हम लोग एक सिंपल कहते हैं हर विष्णु के हर अणु में है, वो है विष्णु, या व्याप्त सब जगह होते हैं. ही परवेड्स इनटू एवरीथिंग, घुस जाता है, सब में घुस जाता है. और जब तक वो घुसेगा नहीं, नथिंग कैन सस्टेन. अगर लोखंड के अंदर नहीं रहेगा तो लोखंड चरमरा जाएगा. आज अगर ये पूरा खड़ा है, स्ट्रक्चर के पीछे कहीं ना कहीं भगवान का हाथ है. सो दैट्स हाउ the first creation starts. Then the Lord Mahavishnu.
The Lord Mahavishnu, although lying in the casual ocean, came out of it and dividing himself as Hiranyagarbha, he entered into each universe and assumed the Virat Rupa with thousands of legs, arms, mouths, heads, etc.
This relevance of this Virat Rupa is very high. I don't know how many of you know. जब भी कोई मंदिर में नया डीटी स्थापना होता है ना, प्रतिष्ठा होती है, तो विराट रूपों का एक एक उसके अंदर आह्वान करके उसके अंदर एस्टेब्लिश किया जाता है. दैट इम्पॉर्टेंट इज विराट रूपा. विराट रूपा इज नॉट जस्ट casually taken to be in the taken of though Bhagavad shows the Virat Rupa in the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, and of course lot of n number of times it's been mentioned in the Bhagavatam also, but Virat Rupa is very important. Each भगवान के नाभि में बुलाया जाता है, भगवान के आँखों में, भगवान के जो विग्रह जो होता है मंदिर का न्यू विग्रह उनके अंदर आह्वान करके उसके अंदर स्थापित किया जाता है. दैट इज प्राण प्रतिष्ठा. प्राण प्रतिष्ठा बोला तो उसके अंदर कुछ जान फूकना नहीं होते. दिस इज आह्वान करके ये आप यहाँ पे स्थापित हो जाओ. आप विराट रूप में हो, ऑलरेडी आप पत्थर में हो, तभी तो आप व्याप्त हो, तभी तो पत्थर खड़ा है. नहीं तो आप पत्थर खड़ा नहीं रहेगा. बट आपको इन स्वरूप में खड़ा होके ये पत्थर, दैट इज वे पत्थर है या भगवान है, पत्थर ही है, बट जब उसके अंदर प्राण प्रतिष्ठा होता है वो बन जाते हैं भगवान. दैट इज हाउ वी आर. दिस इज व्हाट शास्त्र सेज ऑन दैट. प्लीज कंटिन्यू.
Great philosophers imagine that the complete planetary systems in the universe are displays of the different upper and lower limbs of the universal body of the Lord.
We have already discussed that, upper part, lower part. This is called the Bhuloka, and these are the upper planetary system and the lower planetary system.
The Brahmanas represent his mouth, the Kshatriyas his arms, the Vaishyas his thighs, and the Shudras are born of his legs. The low planetary systems up to the limit of the earthly stratum are said to be situated in his legs. The middle planetary systems beginning from Bhuvarloka are situated in his navel, and the still higher planetary systems occupied by the demigods and highly cultured sages and saints are situated in the chest of the Supreme Lord.
That's what I explained. Lower planetary system, Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, or Bhuloka comes in the middle, and then the higher. Why Bhuloka comes in the middle? You have a choice. Free है, it's a rehabilitation center. ये rehabilitate होके आपको बाहर निकलना तो निकल सकते हैं. You want to elevate yourself to Tapaloka, Brahmaloka, Satyaloka, you can go up also. Or you want to do nonsense and go to the lower planet area, you can go there also. So it is like junction point. जंक्शन मतलब क्या, जहाँ ट्रेन दो डायरेक्शन में जा सकती है. अभी यहाँ पे भी दो डायरेक्शन, या तो नीचे जाओ तो ऊपर जाओ. It's like that. Please.
From the forefront of the chest up to the neck of the universal form of the Lord are situated the planetary systems named Janaloka and Tapaloka, whereas Satyaloka, the topmost planetary system, is situated on the head of the form. The spiritual planets, however, are eternal. My dear son Narada, know from me that there are 7 lower planetary systems out of the total 14. The first planetary system, known as Atala, is situated on the waist. The second, Vitala, is situated on the thigh. The third, Sutala, on the knees. The fourth, Talatala, on the shanks. The fifth, Mahatala, on the ankles. The sixth, Rasatala, on the upper portion of the feet. And seventh, Patala, on the soles of the feet. Thus, the Virat form of the Lord is full of all planetary systems.
Nothing to, I don't have to explain, it's self-explanatory.
Others may divide the whole planetary system into 3 divisions, namely the low planetary system on the legs up to the earth, the middle planetary system on the navel, and the upper planetary systems from the chest to the head of the Supreme Personality.
So this is how this whole the hierarchy of the entire division of the planetary system has been mentioned. Let's go to the next chapter.
Lord Brahma said, the mouth of the Virat Purusha, the universal form of the Lord, is the generating center of the voice, and the controlling deity is fire. His skin and 6 other layers are the generating centers of the Vedic hymns, and his tongue is the productive center of different foodstuffs and delicacies for offering to the demigods, the forefathers and the general mass of people.
See, please understand, this is a representative. Don't take it literally. See, Lord is form, Lord is formless. The formless Swarupa mein, He pervades into each and every atom. In the form of a Swarupa, He is taken as a personality. And as a personality, we have to understand that unke mouth represents this. From His mouth, the Vedas are created, or voice, the very voice system is created from the voice. So these are all representative. Don't take it too literally. अरे भगवान का मुंह है तो भगवान का मुंह, भगवान बोलते हैं इसके लिए हम बोलते हैं क्या? एंड भगवान बोलते हैं, भगवान कभी चाइनीज़ बोलते हैं, तमिल बोलते हैं, गुजराती बोलते हैं, क्या बोलते हैं? So don't take it literally. It is representatively. Please continue.
His eyes are the generating centers of all kinds of forms.
These two nostrils.
His two nostrils are the generating centers of our breathing and of all other airs. His smelling powers generate the Ashwini Kumara, demigods, and all kinds of medicinal herbs. And his breathing energies produce different kind of fragrance.
Yes.
His eyes are the generating centers of all kinds of forms, and they glitter and illuminate. His eyeballs are like the sun and the heavenly planets. His ears hear from all sides and are receptacles for all the Vedas. And his sense of hearing is the generating center of the sky and of all kinds of sound.
So various parts of the body are generating various elements like earth, water, fire, ether and all those elements. Over and above, the ability to listen, see, taste and all that are also coming because of his Swarupa, the actual Swarupa, and from that his various organs, our organs, or rather our perception of sense of taste, smell and touch, everything is coming.
His bodily surface is the breeding ground for the active principles of everything and for all kinds of auspicious opportunities. His skin, like the moving air, is the generating center for all kinds of sense of touch and is the place for performing all kinds of sacrifice. The hairs on his body are the cause of all vegetation, particularly of those trees which are required as ingredients for sacrifice. The hairs on his head and face are reservoir for the clouds, and his nails are the breeding ground of electricity, stones and iron ores.
So basically nothing is away from the, that's why हम कई लोग एक उदाहरण देते हैं, हम भगवान के अंदर ही हैं, हाँ है भी और नहीं भी. So you cannot say yeah this is right, भगवान है भी और नहीं भी. देखने का ज्ञान नहीं है तो इस लोखंड में भी आपको भगवान दिखे, उस कचरे के डब्बे में भी आपको भगवान दिखे. अगर आपका अंदर वो दिव्य चक्षु है तो देख पाएंगे. So this is how we have to take it as representatively. Okay, his hair is the trees and reservoirs are from the clouds. His nails are the breeding ground of electricity, stone and iron ores. So it has to be representatively understood.
The Lord's arms are the productive fields for the great demigods and other leaders of the living entities who protect the general mass.
पहले ही बोल दिया था क्षत्रियस आर कमिंग फ्रॉम हैंड्स, तो दैट रियली रिप्रेजेंट, चाहे वो आप थ्रू डेमिगॉड्स पकड़ो, थ्रू देवतास पकड़ो या थ्रू क्षत्रियस पकड़ लो या जो वॉरियर कम्युनिटी है उससे.
Thus the forward steps of the Lord are the shelter for the upper, lower and heavenly planets, as well as for all that we need. His lotus feet serve as protection from all kinds of fear. From the Lord's genitals originate water, semen, generative rains and the procreators. His genitals are the cause of a pleasure that counteracts the distress of begetting.
Unless and until one doesn't have a pleasure in genital in intercourse or in enjoying sensual pleasure, the pain which, there is a distress, least people don't understand that. Prabhupada in one of his lectures says very nicely, 2 liters of blood is burnt in one process of intercourse. 2 liters of blood, because that much of protein is converted. So basically there is a big distress in the body, but people in general are covered by or lured by the pleasure of this thing, and that is also because of Lord. If Lord was not there, even that would not happen. Continue.
O Narada, the evacuating outlet of the universal form of the Lord is the abode of the controlling deity of death, Mitra, and evacuating hole and the rectum of the Lord is the place of envy, misfortune, death, hell, etc. The back of the Lord is the place for all kinds of frustration and ignorance, as well as for immorality. From his veins flow the great rivers and rivulets, and on his bones are stacked the great mountains. The impersonal feature of the Lord is the abode of great oceans, and his belly is the resting place for the materially annihilated living entities. His heart is the abode of the subtle material bodies of living beings. Thus, it is known by the intelligence class of men. Also, the consciousness of the great personality is the abode of religious principles. Mind, yours, and those of the 4 bachelors of Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanat Kumara, and Sanandana. The consciousness is also the abode of truth and transcendental knowledge.
Please understand, each and every body part, minute body part, is a generating place for various demigods. Just nose is a generating place for Ashwini Kumars. The Ashwini Kumars are looking after the health. Now then you saw the genitals, anus was looked after by Mitra. Here we are seeing the 4 Kumaras, which is coming from the mind. So all Devi Devatas और कहीं ना कहीं भगवान के शरीर से ही उत्पन्न हो रहे हैं, और they are representative. Again, don't take it in the literal sense, representative. Please continue.
Beginning from me, Rama, down to you and Bhava, Shiva, all the great sages who were born before you, the demigods, the demons, the nagas, the human beings, the birds, the beasts, as well as the reptiles, etc., and all phenomenal manifestations of the universes, namely the planets, stars, asteroids, luminaries, lighting, thunder, and the inhabitants of the different planetary systems, namely the Gandharvas, Apsaras, Yakshas, Rakshasas, Bhutganas, Uragas, Pashus, Pitas, Siddhas, Vidyadharas, Karanas, Charanas, and all other different varieties of living entities, including the birds, beasts, trees, and everything that be, are all covered by the universal form of the Lord at all times, namely past, present, and future, although He is transcendental to all of them, eternally existing in a form not exceeding 9 inches.
Now what is this 9 inches? Paramatma Swarup ka size. It is said, simple calculation, when you take right hand fist of any person, कोई लंबा रहेगा, कोई टिंगू रहेगा, कोई मोटा रहेगा, कोई पतला रहेगा, what it is. If you want to check the size of the Paramatma of your body, it has to be as per the size between the thumb and the last finger. तो सब्जेक्टिवली अभी आपका उंगली बड़ा है तो आपका परमात्मा का साइज बड़ा रहेगा, आपका उंगली का साइज छोटा है. जस्ट जनरली इट इज सेड बाय आचार्यस कि भाई दिस इज द जनरल थंब साइज, बट जनरली 8 or 9 inches का ही ये size of the Lord है. Because even the Lord is saying as Paramatma in your heart, so his size is also mentioned here.
The sun illuminates both eternally and externally by expanding its radiation. Similarly, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by expanding his universal form, maintains everything in the certain both internally and externally.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the controller of immortality and fearlessness, and he is transcendental to death and the fruitive actions of the material world. O Narada, O Brahmana, it is therefore difficult to measure the glories of the Supreme Person.
ये last line was best. What is the last line?
Difficult to measure the glory.
The problem is हम लोग सब भगवान का नो मेजरमेंट करने लगे, कितना बड़ा है तू, कितना महान है तू, नहीं कर पाए. हमारा दिमाग एक खटमल जैसा है, जैसे खटमल आया नो और से लाइस, क्या बोलते हैं उसको, जू. आपके सिर पे अगर जू है, वो कैन ही अंडरस्टैंड कितना बड़ा है सिर है. वो सोचेगा ये मेरा मायका है, ये मेरा ससुराल है, हाँ, ये बराबर ना, पूरा उसका दुनिया इसमें ही है. उसको क्या मालूम ये शरीर इतना बड़ा है, उसमें से एक पोर्शन में वो रह रहा है. He doesn't know that I am that in the whole body. I'm just in one portion. He doesn't realize. So he say we are also so small. Through this, ये सब पढ़ के हाँ मेरे को सब आता है. You know nothing. You really know nothing. You only know that you are too small to understand. That is what is the first understanding.
Supreme Personality of Godhead is to be known as the supreme reservoir of all material opulences by the 1/4 of his energy in which all the living entities exist. Deathlessness, fearlessness, and freedom from the anxieties of old age and disease exist in the kingdom of God, which is beyond the 3 higher planetary systems and beyond the material coverings. The spiritual world, which consists of 3/4 of the Lord's energy, is situated beyond this material world, and it is especially meant for those who will never be reborn. Others who are attached to the family life and who do not strictly follow celibacy vows must live within the 3 material worlds. By his energies, the all-pervading personality of Godhead is thus comprehensively the master in the activities of controlling and in devotional service. He is the ultimate master of both nescience and factual knowledge of all situations.
See, when we are reading this entire, representative knowledge of God, when you read the Bhagavad Gita, 11th chapter, Lord mentions about this, Virat Rupa and all that. Before that, Lord mentions, I am the luminous in the sun and the moon. He mentions. So what does it actually mean? Whatever you say, if something is smelling obnoxious and something is smelling very fragrant, both is because of me. Only I have given the very good fragrance inside a rose or some other flower, and I am only empowered. Otherwise, even that doesn't have the ability. Nothing has its ability of its own, even to smell obnoxious or to smell nice. दोनों के लिए पीछे मैं responsible हूँ, मेरे वजह से हो रहा है. That is what we have to understand from this. Continue.
From the personality of Godhead, all the universal globes and the universal forms with all material elements, qualities and senses are generated. Yet he is aloof from such material manifestations like the sun, which is separate from its ray and heat. When I was born from the abdominal lotus flower of the Lord Mahavishnu, the great person, I had no ingredients for sacrificial performances except the bodily limbs of the great personality of Godhead. For performing sacrificial ceremonies, one requires sacrificial ingredients such as flowers, leaves and straw, along with the sacrificial altar and a suitable tank. Other requirements are utensils, grain, clarified butter, honey, gold, earth, water, the Rig Veda, Yajur Veda and Samaveda, and the 4 priests to perform the sacrifice. Other necessities include invoking the different names of the demigods by specific hymns and vows of recompense in accordance with the particular scripture for specific purposes and by specific processes. Thus, I had to arrange all these necessary ingredients and paraphernalia of sacrifice from the personal bodily parts of the personality of Godhead. By invocation of the demigod's name, the ultimate goal, Vishnu was gradually attained, and thus compensation and the ultimate offering were complete. Thus I created the ingredients and paraphernalia for offering sacrifice out of the parts of the body of Supreme Lord, the enjoyer of the sacrifice, and I performed the sacrifice to satisfy the Lord. My dear sir, thereafter, your 9 brothers, who are the masters of living creatures, perform the sacrifice with proper rituals to satisfy both the manifested and non-manifested personalities. Thereafter, the Manus, the father of mankind, the great sages, the great forefathers, the learned scholars, the deities, and the mankind perform sacrifices meant to please the Supreme Lord. All the material
You see,
manifestations.
just mentioning about the gradual process of creation. First he did, then his 9 sons did, then Manu performed. So it is gradual process in which the creation took place.
What are the 9 sons?
पहला सनक सनातन सनत कुमार, then हाँ, they also come into that because सब मन से पैदा हुआ है ना वो लोग. Plus there are the rishis are also there.
All the material manifestations of the universes are therefore situated in his powerful material energy, which he accepts self-sufficiently, although he is eternally without affinity for the material matter. By his will, I create, Lord Shiva destroys, and he himself, in his eternal form, as the personality of Godhead, maintains everything. He is the powerful controller of these 3 energies. My dear sir,
3 energies means शिवा विष्णु महेश, तीनों का कंट्रोलिंग एनर्जी विष्णु ही है.
my dear son, whatever you inquire from me, I have thus explained unto you, and you must know for certain that whatever there is, either has cause or has effect, both in the material and spiritual worlds, is dependent on the Supreme Personality of God. O Narada, because I have caught hold of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, with great zeal, whatever I say has never proved to have been false, nor is the progress of my mind ever deterred, nor are my senses ever degraded by temporary attachment to matter. Although I am known as the great Brahma, perfect in the
Disciplic succession of
succession of the Vedic wisdom, and although I have undergone all austerities and am an expert in mystic powers and self-realization, and although I am recognized as such by the great forefathers of the living entity who offer me respectful obeisances, still I cannot understand him, the Lord, the very source of my birth.
This is Brahmaji saying. His very source of Lord, he says, I am not able to understand. And यहाँ पे लोग बोलते हैं मेरे को भगवान मैं जानता हूँ. भगवान को देखना, भगवान को समझना और तत्वता में पूर्णता का समझना are 3 different things. जो भगवान के मतलब ही इज अनबॉर्न ना, ब्रह्मा इज अनबॉर्न, कोई मेल फीमेल के यूनियन से तो पैदा नहीं हुए, ही जस्ट कम आउट फ्रॉम द नेवल लोटस द नेवल. ही इज सेइंग आई हैव नेवर अंडरस्टूड गॉड. नाउ वेयर यू आर गोइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड.
Therefore, it is best for me to surrender unto his feet, which alone can deliver one from the miseries of repeated birth and death. Such surrender is all auspicious and allows one to perceive all happiness. Even the sky cannot estimate the limits of its own expansion. So what can others do when the Lord himself is unable to estimate his own limits?
द बेस्ट पार्ट इज लॉर्ड हिमसेल्फ डजंट नो उसके कितने हैं. बिकॉज भगवान कहते हैं द भगवद गीता कि मेरा एक अंश से, विथ वन अंश आई एम टेकिंग केयर ऑफ द होल वर्ल्ड एंड माई विभूतिज are unlimited. Here Lord has said this. Vibhuti means my what do you say, my powers, my glories are unlimited.
Since neither Lord Shiva nor you nor I could ascertain the limits of spiritual happiness, how can other demigods know it? And because all of us are bewildered by the illusionary, external energy of the Supreme Lord, we can see only this manifested cosmos according to our individual ability. Let us offer our respectful obeisances unto that Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose incarnations and activities are chanted by us for glorification. Though he can hardly be fully known as He is. That supreme original personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, expanding his inherent motion as Mahavishnu, the first incarnation, recreates this manifested cosmos. But his unwork, the creation, however, takes place in him, and the material substance and manifestations are all himself. He maintains them for some time and absorbs them into himself again. The personality of Godhead is pure, being free from all contamination of material tinges. He is the absolute truth and the embodiment of full and perfect knowledge. He is all pervading without beginning or end, or without rival. O Narad, O great sages, the great thinkers can know him when completely free from all material hankerings and when sheltered under undisturbed condition of the senses. Otherwise, by untenable arguments, all is distorted and the Lord disappears from our sight. Karnavyasi Vishnu is the first incarnation of the Supreme Lord, and he is the master of eternal time, space, cause and effect, mind, the elements, the material ego, the modes of nature, the senses, the universal form of law. Garbhodakshayi Vishnu and the sum total of all living beings, both moving and non-moving.
2 times this word has come, cause and effect. Can anyone explain me that cause and effect? Lord is the cause as well as the effect. How do you understand that? If someone who has sincerely heard my earlier lectures can answer this. हाँ क्या था वो?
The name,
बोलो बोलो.
he is the creator for the good.
हाँ, right.
Nimitta Karan. And
Upadan Karya and Nimitta Karya. He is Upadan Karana and Nimitta Karana. What does that mean, Upadan Karana, Nimitta Karana? In material world, first you need, we want to make this table. You need wood, you need nails, you need Fevicol, you need whatever the ingredients required. Then to make that wood, convert that wood into a table, you need a carpenter. But the best part is Lord himself is the wood also and is the carpenter also. That is why he is the cause and effect. He is the Upadan Karya as well as the Nimitta Karya. Continue.
I myself, Brahma, Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu, great generators of living beings like Daksha and Prajapati, yourself, Narada, and the Kumaras, heavenly demigods like Indra and Chandra, the leaders of the Goloka planets, the leaders of the earthly planets, the leaders of the lower planets, the leaders of the Gandharva planet, the leaders of the Vidyadhara planets, the leaders of the Charnaloka planets, the leaders of the Yaksha, Rakshasa and Ugras, the great sages, the great demons, the great atheists and the great spacemen, as well as the great dead bodies, evil spirits, satans, jinn, kusmadas, great aquatics, great beasts and great birds, etc. In other words, anything and everything which is exceptionally possessed of power, opulence, mental and perceptual dexterity, strength, forgiveness, beauty, modesty, opulence and breeding, whether in form or formless, may appear to be the specific truth and the form of the Lord, but actually they are not so. They are only a fragment of the transcendental potency of the Lord. O Narad, now I shall state, one after another, the transcendental incarnation of the Lord, known as Lila Avtaras, hearing of their activities counteracts all matters accumulated in the year. These pastimes are pleasing to hear and are to be relished. Therefore, they are in my heart.
So even Brahma knows, too much of speaking about this is of no use. I rather go to the Leelas and Leela avatars and what all Lord does, because now slowly he is going to mention the various Leela avatars now. So now, don't worry, now we will have some Leelas discussion. So,
6th chapter is also over.
Mata is so happy, oh portion over. Okay, now my question is, I have already told that Lord Vishnu only appeared in the jail as Krishna. 400 form. First he appeared at 400 form. And then I have explained that Vasudeva and Devaki, out of their Vatsalya love, they said, it's like, 400 form is like, अगर मैं किसी को ढूंढ रहा हूँ, अगर क्लास में छुपा हुआ दिखने का, हाथ ऊपर करेगा तो बराबर दिखेगा ना. तो भगवान का 400 फॉर्म बोला तो कम से कम मालूम पड़ेगा दूर से ये विष्णु इसको ही मारना. सो ही टोल्ड, एक तो छोटा हो जाओ एंड तुम्हारा 4 हैंड्स निकाल दो. बिकॉज लॉर्ड कैन नेवर कम लाइक दैट. ही कैन टेक एनी फॉर्म. ही कैन टेक द फॉर्म ऑफ अ टेबल, चेयर, एनीथिंग. He can come through a pillar also. Narasimhadev came as a pillar. He could take half man, half lion form also. So that is not a problem. So the Acharyas ask a very nice, beautiful question here. When immediately he had come with 400 form, Shankh, Chakra, Gadapad. तो ऊपर क्या रहता है? शंख और चक्र. परफेक्ट, वेरी गुड. तो शंख चक्र, तो ऊपर का 2 हाथ निकालने बोला है. नॉर्मल मैन नीचे का हाथ रहेगा, ऊपर का हाथ निकालना. तो निकालने बोला तो फिर शंख चक्र कहाँ रखा रहेगा? नहीं. लॉर्ड विष्णु हैड टू कन्वर्ट इनटू मतलब डिसअपियर हिज 2 हैंड्स. एंड क्या शब्द यूज हुआ था? जब तक कम्स है तब तक तू 400 फॉर्म मत दिखाना. यू शो ओनली 200 फॉर्म. आप लोगों को मैंने पॉन्डर का स्टोरी बोला था, राइट? पॉन्डर का स्टोरी में पॉन्डर कैसा आया था? 400 फॉर्म में आया था, राइट? वाई वुड ही कम एंड चैलेंज कृष्णा दैट आई एम गॉड एंड आई एम हैविंग 4 हैंड्स? नकली 2 हाथ लगा के आया था. दैट मीन्स कृष्णा वॉज स्टैंडिंग देयर विथ 4 हैंड्स.
Only he could see Lord.
No, he would display his 400 form even to Duryodhana.
But he said Maya.
ये माया ये कर रहा है, ये कुछ कर रहा है. प्रभु, आपको पहले भक्त बनना पड़ेगा टू अंडरस्टैंड और सी और रियलाइज गॉड. नहीं तो आपको सब लगेगा ये तो मैंने किया या मेरे वजह से हुआ या हो गया बाई चांस. लाइक साइंटिस्ट से बिग बैंग से दुनिया हो गया. अब इतना बैंग हो रहा है, रशिया और यूक्रेन, ईरान, इराक, सब बैंग ही बैंग हो रहा है. क्या क्रिएट हुआ? सब डिस्ट्रक्शन हो रहा है. फिर भी बोल दिया बिग बैंग से हो गया. सिंपल, ठीक है. Because they don't want to accept the superiority of a creator, a God. So Acharya say very nicely. This comes in understanding one word of Krishna, one name of Krishna, Venu Gopal. सुना है? नाम सुना है? वेणुगोपाल नाम सुना है? What is the meaning of Venu Gopal?
जिनके हाथ में वेणु.
हाँ, जिनके हाथ में वेणु है, वेणु लेके खड़े. लॉर्ड सेड, अब मैं क्या करूं? आई कैन नॉट स्टे विदाउट शंख एंड चक्र. मैं शंकर चक्र के बगैर रह नहीं सकता हूँ. मतलब दे आर इटर्नल पार्षदस ऑफ माइंड, लिविंग पार्षदस. तो बोला, जय एक काम कर, मम्मी बोल रही है, मटेरियल मम्मी, हाँ मटेरियल मम्मी है ना वो, देवकी इज मटेरियल मम्मी. तो मम्मी बोल रही है कि भाई आपका 2 हाथ ये निकाल दो. तो मैं हाथ तो मैं छुपा दूंगा, इनविजिबल कर दूंगा. बट शंकर चक्र को मैं बोलता हूँ, जाओ तुम लोग है ना मथुरा वृंदावन जाओ, मैं आ रहा हूँ उधर, आप जाओ. और वहाँ जाके है ना तुम एक बांस बन के बैठ जाना. शंख को क्या बोला? बांस, बैम्बू. एंड चक्र को क्या बोला? तो एक काम करो, यू बिकम अ गुड स्टाफ, नो वुडन स्टिक, यू बिकम नाइस वुडन स्टिक. ठीक है, उनको भेज दिया और दोनों हाथ निकाल दें. तो क्या करेगा वो? शंकर के नीचे रखना पड़ेगा. ही कैन नॉट कीप इट. सो दिस कम्स इन द व्याख्यान ऑफ वेणुगोपाल. हाउ ही इज कॉल्ड वेणुगोपाल, वाई इज कॉल्ड. भगवान कैसे आवाज़, मतलब शंख किसके लिए भगवान ऐसे स्टाइल के लिए थोड़ी लेके जाते. शंख बजाना है तो किसी को बुलाना है तो उसके लिए शंख इज फॉर ब्लोइंग. तो इट इज सेड, आचार्य से दैट इमीडिएटली लॉर्ड सेड ट्रांसपोर्ट मी ओवर देयर. तो रातों रात ट्रांसपोर्ट हो गए, वहाँ चले गए. ठीक है, थोड़ा बचपन का लीला कर लिया, बट लॉर्ड वॉज बेचैन विदाउट शंख एंड चक्र. तो मेड he came to a small age where he could go to Gocharan Leela, small calves, not the cows, calves. तो तुरंत गया एंड वहाँ पे बांस के बड़े बड़े झाड़ थे. All were standing straight, tall. ये सब एक छोटा सा बांस का झाड़ था, वो जरा झुका हुआ था. तो बोला भाग, झुका हुआ है, कुछ काम का नहीं. झुका हुआ बांस का भी यूज़ होता है. बेंट बैम्बू इज एवर यूज्ड. वो विल यूज. अभी घर पांडाल बांधना है, कुछ शादी ब्याह कुछ भी हो, टॉलर एंड स्ट्रेट बैम्बू इज रिक्वायर्ड. So they were all laughing, but poor fellow, he was none other than Shankha. So he was in a very humble form. So Krishna came one day. Oh, where will I search? Nice, my Shankha, where is he? There he saw, humble form sitting. He just broke it, put holes. It is said, if you want to serve God, you got to take some pain. अगर आप बोलेगा नहीं नहीं पेन हो रहा है भगवान, आप किसी और को ले लो, लीव मी, तो ठीक है. बट शंकर वॉज रेडी टू टेक द पेन बिकॉज द होल्स वर बीइंग बोर्ड, तभी तो फ्लूट बजेगा ना. एंड देन द बेस्ट पार्ट इज नेवर वी यूज्ड टू लॉर्ड बी अवे फ्रॉम इट. यूज्ड टू ऑलवेज कीप इट, कभी इधर तो कभी गले से लटका के रखेंगे, मतलब राधा रानी हो ना हो कहीं भी जाओ. बट हैव यू एवर सीन Krishna in the entire Leela after leaving Vrindavan holding Basuri? Because there he has already taken 400 form and he has taken the Shankh and Chakra. Now coming to Chakra. How many of you all have seen the beautiful photo of Krishna standing with staff in the hand? देखा रहेगा? Right? वो कभी टेढ़ा खड़े रहते हैं, त्रिभंगी रूप में खड़े रहते हैं. That staff is none other than Chakra. तो वो लेके हमेशा घूमते रहते थे, चाहे वो गाय को हाँकना हो, काफ्स को हाँकना हो. एंड विद दैट स्पेशलिटी ऑफ दैट शंख विच बिकेम वेणु, ही व्हाट डिड ही यूज टू कॉल, whom to call? He called the gopis. He used to not just call the gopis, even everyone used to be enchanted by the music he sang through the flute. You know, let me put it in a very modern day-to-day example. Yes, Rajesh Prabhu, how do you feed Radhika when she is not eating the food? How do you feed the child? What do you do?
Forcibly or with the spoon.
Or with the spoon, and then sometimes give a mobile in the hand. That's the best nowadays trick used by parents. हाथ में मोबाइल दे देने का तो देखता रहेगा. एंड जब तक तू देखेगा जब तक तू खाएगा तब तू देखेगा, मैं हटा देगा तो. ओ कृष्णा यूज्ड टू लव द काउ सो मच, ही यूज्ड टू प्ले द फ्लूट एंड द फ्लूट यूज्ड टू बी सो एन्चैंटिंग, द काउज यूज्ड टू कीप ग्रेजिंग. एंड कृष्णा यूज्ड टू से, इफ यू स्टॉप ग्रेजिंग आई विल स्टॉप प्लेइंग, आई विल स्टॉप प्लेइंग द फ्लूट. So no, we can't afford you to stop that, it's so enchanting. We will continue eating the grass. So they used to eat. So that's why Vrindavan, all the cows were nice, hefty and fat. And more the grass the cow eats, it's scientifically also proven that it gives more milk, better milk and more milk. So Acharyas say that Krishna in the when the Vrindavan Leela also was carrying Shankh and Chakra. If you see Bhandirvan, we know there are, and of course even in Nidhivan also there is a place where Krishna touched the flute, and from that he created a well. How many of you remember that? आजकल निधिवन जाने लायक है ही नहीं जगह. It's overcrowded, but even in Bhandirvan there is a well. जो सोमवती अम्बास को जो white हो जाती है ना वो, that well, this are all were done by भगवान. सिर्फ वेणु को लगाया और वहाँ से बन गए. तो वेणु मतलब you think it's an ordinary wooden वेणु, it is none other than Shankha itself. So Acharya say when Lord comes, wherever he comes in any form, even in Vaman avatar, he came in 400 form only, but his two hands were not visible to everyone, but Shukracharya could see. Shukracharya saw, oh, he is Vishnu, come as Tingu. Immediately he tells Bali Maharaj, ये चीट रहा है, इसको कुछ मत देना. बलि महाराज, मैं तो दे दिया, he didn't show it to Bali Maharaj, but Shukracharya could see. After all, he's an Acharya. One who studies the Vedas, one who reads the thing, can see Lord's divine form. So if anyone wants to see the Lord's divine form, you have to change. You don't expect Lord to change. Lord, you come and show me. No. Many people come, भगवान अभी तक आपका दर्शन नहीं हुए, दर्शन करना है तो आपको बदलना पड़ेगा, ना कि भगवान बदल के आएंगे. भाई तू तो 35% के ऊपर जा ही नहीं रहा है, तो मैं आता हूँ. नहीं नहीं, you need 100%. In devotion there is no etiquette. In devotion there is no 80%, 90%. Cut off list is straight 100%. 100 you are in the list or else you are cut off. So आप सोच लो कि भक्ति कैसा करना है. So that is why Acharya says whenever God comes in any Leela, he always comes in 400 form. In Narsingha Dev also he came in 400 form. Any Leela you see, Narsingha Dev you see here also 400 form. In Krishna Leela he came in 400 form. In Vamana Avatar he came as 400 form. Every now you will see now the Leela avatars. In that you will see what is that? Parshuram. Lord Parshuram will come, and that will be Shakti Avesh avatar. There are various types of avatars where people are being empowered, where some people are, personalities or devotees are empowered by Lord to execute their work. उनका कार्य पूरा करने के लिए उनको execute करने के लिए दिया जाता है. But otherwise, Lord is very, very simple and straight. He comes to people who are straight in devotion, not those who are teda in devotion. If you want to be teda in devotion, Lord is very, very teda.
3 times.
3 times teda. So simplicity is what is required in devotion. Complication is not required. Don't be a complicated person. Don't be a complicated devotee. Be a straight devotee. Be straight. Be clear. Don't try to hide things from God, because nothing can be hidden. He is a sitting witness inside everyone's heart as consciousness. He is very much seeing what you are doing, what you are not doing. So don't try to fool God, and don't try to give excuses to God also. People many times try to give excuses to God. Don't give excuses also. Yes, try to improve, and once you improve, it's better. So that is why till Krishna was there in Vrindavan, he always carried his Venu. All Venu. And nobody asked me a question. Krishna कौन से शंख बजाए थे महाभारत युद्ध के स्टार्टिंग में, भगवद गीता में आता है, राइट? 5 जनिया ना 5 जनिया बजाए थे, तो फिर ये शंख कहाँ से आया? Krishna is always having Panchajanya. How did it come?
How did Panchajanya come?
अभी तो वेणु स्वरूप में ना.
अच्छा, वेणु से उसमें कैसे?
हाँ, तो how did God? अभी कृष्णा ने मथुरा छोड़ दिया. कृष्णा ने मथुरा छोड़ दिया, गए मथुरा गए, कंस को मारने गए, वहाँ पे वेणु लेके नहीं गए, यहीं छोड़ के गए. वहाँ पे मारने के बाद immediately Lord expanded his 400 form, but now he doesn't have Shankh. हाँ, नाम क्या है? शंखचूड़. शंखचूड़ के नाम के असुर को संदीपानी मुनि ने भेजा था. उसको संदीपानी मुनि ने भेजा था ना कि मेरे पुत्र को लेके आओ, मेरे पुत्र को लेके आओ. तो वो गए और वो समुद्र में जाके उस राक्षस को मार के उस शंख को लेके आओ. He was hiding inside the शंख. So it आचार्य से इस वेणु को बोला, भाई मैं अभी जा रहा हूँ, वृंदावन से जा रहा हूँ मथुरा. सो नाउ आई विल रिक्वायर यू गो एंड hide that asura inside you. I will come and kill the asura and take you. And that is the Shankha which Lord was carrying throughout his entire Krishna Leela, wherever he went to Dwaraka or anywhere. So including his Lord's marriage with रुक्मिणी विवाह, सारे विवाह जितने हुए सब 400 फॉर्म में हुए. जब सत्यभामा को लेके गरुड़ पे गए, चतुर्भुज भी चतुर्भुज रूप में ही ले गए लोग. सो भगवान वॉज ऑलवेज इन चतुर्भुज रूप. इवन इन कृष्ण लीला ओनली जो वृंदावन का जो लीला था, सिंस देवकी माता had requested, he had hidden that. So I have given a little bit of it in the Bhagavad Gita, but not the full detail I have not mentioned. I don't have that much space to write, so I have written a bit of it. But even in Ram Leela, Ramchandra ji, because he was forced to have that मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम भगवान का स्वरूप में रहना था, मतलब मनुष्य के स्वरूप में रहना था, फिर भी उन्होंने एक ही टाइम पे सिर्फ पूतना को दिखाया. कहते हैं सुर्पणखा को दिखाया. कहते हैं इवन शबरी को भी दिखाया, जो उनके भक्त थे. नॉट जस्ट शबरी, हनुमान जी को दिखाया. हनुमान जी, he uses one shabd which is a plural form. Your hands are so beautiful, you should not be barehanded, it should be covered. Hanumanji speaks this. The first time when he meets Ram and Lakshman, when he goes as a Brahmana, he says, your hands are so beautiful. So Acharyas immediately interpret, he is using the word hands. So here, it doesn't mean two hands, it means four hands. He showed his four-handed form to sing. Then only see, Bhagavan is very clear. जिसको दिखाना है उसको दिखाएंगे, जिसको नहीं दिखाना नहीं दिखाएंगे. It's like, CID people, they come, they are, when they want to show someone, they hide, they camouflage themselves as some local beggar or some fruit vendor or something. But when they want to show the identity, they go, come on, I am the ID. So it's a Lord's ID or four-handed form. He shows as and when he requires. चाहे वो राक्षस हो, चाहे वो भक्त हो, he will always show. So that is why we have to understand that even in Ramchandra Leela, he has time and again in between he has shown, but not to everyone. He has only shown to certain people. For devotees, always Lord expresses his full Swarupa. But non-devotees, दिखा के भी फायदा नहीं. दुर्योधन ने देखा, समझ में नहीं आया. It is like that. Okay, with this I like to close today's session. We will continue next time.